Russia's military lost 2 jets, 13 tanks, and a helicopter over the last 24 hours. Ukraine's military claimed Friday, despite Vladimir Putin announcing the annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions hours later. In a statement on their official Facebook page on Friday, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine detailed Russia's combat losses between the beginning of the war on February 24 and September 30, as well as those from the last day. It estimated that 59,080 Russian troops and military personnel had died in the fighting since the war started, including 500 over the last day. It said Russia had lost 13 tanks in the last day and 2,338 since the beginning of the fighting. Russia lost 2 jets in the last day, contributing to the 264 it has lost in total since the start of the conflict. Over the last day, Russia lost 1 helicopter to Ukrainian forces. It has lost 225 overall since February 24. In the last 24 hours, Russia lost 23 armored combat machines, APVs, 6 artillery systems, an anti-aircraft warfare system, and 8 UAVs. The opponent suffered the biggest losses in the Kramatorsk and Donetsk directions over the last day, the military said. Newsweek has contacted the Russian Foreign Ministry for comment. Meanwhile, in Moscow on Friday, Russian President Vladimir Putin declared 4 occupied regions of Ukraine as part of Russia, after Russian forces annexed the areas, which include Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, and Zaporizhia. He solemnly signed 4 decrees declaring each territory part of Russia before doing a joint handshake with the 4 Russian-installed leaders of the regions, which account for about 15% of Ukraine. The international community recognizes these territories as Ukrainian. The European Union condemned the move within minutes, saying it would never recognize the illegal referendums held in Ukraine by Russian officials. The bloc also threatened further economic sanctions on Russia. But Putin said the results of the referenda, which critics say were rigged, were definitive. A concert in Red Square in Moscow will be held on Friday evening to celebrate the annexation. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Ukraine will not stop until it can take back those 4 regions, as well as the Crimean Peninsula, which Russia annexed back in 2014. Putin used the speech to accuse the U.S. of creating a precedent for nuclear weapons by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II. Putin has previously threatened to use nuclear weapons if Russia feels its territorial integrity is being threatened. Ukrainian forces say they took back more than 3,000 square miles from Russian forces in less than 2 weeks, recapturing towns and cities and cutting off Russian supply lines. Putin responded on September 21 by announcing a partial military mobilization of up to 300,000 citizens, while Russian-installed officials held sham referendums on joining Russia in Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. According to Russia's state-owned RIA Novosti, the reported results included 99.23% in favor in Donetsk and 98.42% in favor in Luhansk, 2 regions partially under pro-Moscow separatist control since 2014, as well as 93.11% in favor in Zaporizhia and 87.05% in favor in Kherson. The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry referred to the referendums as a propaganda show in a statement shared with Newsweek. Forcing people in these territories to fill out some papers at the barrel of a gun is yet another Russian crime in the course of its aggression against Ukraine, Ukraine's foreign ministry said. Ukraine is pressing on with its counteroffensive, and according to military officials, Ukrainian troops have only 6% of Kharkiv left to liberate. Few days ago, Ukrainian troops are encircling Russian forces in Lyman, an occupied town in the northeast of the country, as Kyiv presses on with its counteroffensive to recapture seized territory. Maps detailing Ukrainian advance in the region amid a continued counteroffensive show its forces moving north across the Siversky Donets River from areas east and west of town, and east across the Oskil River from positions north of Lyman.